With over 1,300 entertainment industry guests and over 6 million viewers, live from the Pepper J Production Studio in Hollywood, California, it's the ActorsE Chat Show, every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, a Pepper J production. It's the ActorsE Chat Show.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome. You're watching ActorsE Chat, and I'm your host, Kim Delgado. We have a fantastic guest today, a producer and a stunt personality, and you may have seen this person in all sorts of movies, television shows, even commercials, and not known who he was. But I'm going to tell you who he is right now. He's a fantastic friend, an old buddy, and a total consummate professional. Let me introduce to you my pal, Mr. Mark Riccardi.
Hey!
Welcome to the show, Mark.
Good to see you.
I want to tell our audience a little bit about you and how you started in your roots. You grew up where?
South Plainfield, New Jersey.
New Jersey. Giants or Jets?
Jets.
The New York Jets. And then you went to college. You were in West Virginia, and you played a little sport known as
Football.
football. You played football. You were a quarterback.
Yeah.
And Mark played football, and he had dreams of grandeur. And then he went to Florida, where he was in...
Well, I went to Jacksonville, Florida to play semi-pro football.
Semi-pro. Big hits?
A lot of big hits. A lot of big hits. It more or less led me to Hollywood.
When you're playing football, let me ask you, are you ever scared? Is there any panic? You see the linebacker coming, he's about to bish you, you know you're going down. Do you ever worry about getting hurt or what might come of the hit?
No. I had a great line. I was a quarterback, and I dropped back at least 7 to 10 yards. And because I had such a good arm, I was able to avoid many hits.
Quick release?
On many days.
Quick release?
Quick release. Joe Namath was my hero.
Joe Namath of the Jets.
Yep. Joe was my hero.
So what happened? Did you ever think of playing for the USFL or trying to get in the NFL?
You know, there was an injury that sidelined me and kind of dashed my hopes.
There's Joe?
Yeah, Joe was my hero. I spent my junior year up at his football camp way back when. And, he was a great example of what a quarterback should be. And in any case, fast forward, I had an injury in Jacksonville. It sidelined me for a little bit, and it was time to think about a new career. And with that, I contacted an old friend of mine, Dennis Matalone, who had already been a stunt coordinator or had been working in Hollywood. He was actually happened to be my split end in high school. So where he left for Hollywood right after high school, I wound up going to college.
Well, since Mark has come to Hollywood, he's been in some of the biggest movies and television shows. I'm just going to give you a few. Broken Arrow, Face Off, Battlefield Earth, Civil Action, Swordfish, also Castle, Hawaii Five-0, Hero, CSI, General Hospital, multiple commercials. Mark has run the gamut, probably over 50 television shows and multiple films. Why don't you tell us about what it's like? Now, we were just talking about when you got out here, you had to pay your dues. What's it like? You said you were pulling pads.
Well, yeah, exactly. You just don't come in here and into L.A., Hollywood, and just say you want to be a stuntman. You have to pull the pads. You have to paint a few houses, put up a couple picket fences. There were a certain amount of things that you really had to do in order to kind of fall into the mix of the guys that were already doing it. Unfortunately, I didn't have any family in the business, and it was just merely just coming out here and wanting to do it and not having a plan B.
Were you working out when you were getting into it? I mean, I know that you have to be in top physical condition because a lot of the stuff that you're going to be doing is dangerous. Did you work out?
Well, yeah. Matter of fact, I ran into a stunt school back then. It was Hubie Kearns. He was the stunt double for Batman. So he had one of the first stunt schools, and we used to practice over at the park over in Riverside, over near in Van Nuys there, and it was about a 6-week course where we were fights, and we did some horseback riding with Red Morgan. And here's a Jersey guy. All I knew about was betting on horses. I didn't know nothing about falling off of horses. Okay, so we had gone up there, and Red Morgan had been known for working on all the John Wayne movies back in the day, and he would just, stand down. And,
Who's that?
Oh, let me see. Who? That's Hubie Kearns. Yeah, that's Hubie Kearns. Hubie was just a great guy. He would get out there. I mean, of course, he was the fight guy, and so we had all our training with fights with Hubie. But overall, it was a good growing grounds for a lot of stunt guys who eventually went on to become stunt coordinators in the business. I eventually met up with my buddy Dennis, and he brought me on to a show called The Greatest American Hero, which back in the day, he was a stunt coordinator, and he was stunt doubling Billy Cat at the time as well. So Dennis didn't. There's my buddy. He actually he got me out there on the set, but he never. He didn't get me involved. As far as work-wise, I had to go to San Francisco to work with Chuck Norris on a film called An Eye for an Eye. And Steve Carver was a director. He turned me on to Aaron Norris.
There's the poster for An Eye for an Eye.
Yeah. And I was Taft-Hartley'd on that show.
Tell us what Taft-Hartley means, because the audience doesn't know. I know, because I'm a SAG-AFTRA actor. What does it mean?
Well, you can't work without a SAG card. And
Screen Actors Guild.
Screen Actors Guild. And you have to have a letter from a director or a stunt coordinator needs you in a certain position because of a certain stunt that you're qualified to do. In that case, it was the director, Steve Carver, who...
there we go.
Yeah, Steve. Steve was a great influence on me early on. And he helped me kind of move, into the stunt group and work out with the boys. And it was a great experience. I worked a week up in San Francisco on Eye for an Eye and came back with a lot of confidence.
Well, you speak of confidence. The audience probably wants to know, there's different types of stunts. Do stunt people do them all? I know there's stunts where you go through fire or you get burned. There's stunts where you fight. There's stunts where you jump from buildings, which I don't do. There's stunts where you have, like they put spiders, or you have to deal with big animals or bears. Do you specialize in any type of stunts?
There's specialty stuntmen. There are guys that go out there and actually specialize in high falls. If you need somebody who can, give you a 60-foot jump on a motorcycle, you have him to call. There's also the everyday stunt guy, which we call ground pounders. These are guys that, if you need 10 guys to hit the ground, get ratcheted, air rams, just ground pounders, ground eaters. Those are the guys that they get beat up pretty good, but on a whole, they work consistently. And I think I was considered one of those guys.
Well, you've done so many shows. You've done multiple episodes of Star Trek. You've done CSI. What are some of the tougher stunts you've done? I know some are easy. I remember...
Well, Star Trek, let me tell you. Let me go back, because that's
There's the Star Trek. That's Frakes?
Yeah, I doubled Jonathan Frakes. And there was a scene...
What's this
That
one
was
here?
a scene from Ghost, where I was just an ND stunt guy on one of the episodes.
ND?
And nondescript.
Gotcha.
Nondescript. And I had plenty of those opportunities as well, but doubling Jonathan Frakes was just a sheer delight. I mean, this man was just so unbelievable. The good thing with not so good for him, but good for me, Jonathan had a bad back. So he just turning a corner, his back would hurt. So there were a lot of instances where not only was I doing the stunts, but I was also, just kind of doing some of his photo doubling as well.
Nice.
So,
when you're doing stunt work, do you know when you come in for the day? Is it pre-planned? There we go. That's Jonathan
Yeah,
Frakes.
yeah. He's also directing now. In fact, I worked with him and seen him not too long ago on an episode of Castle.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was good to see my buddy.
Do you do fire?
I have done fire. It's not a specialty of mine, but again, there's certain shows will require you to do certain things. When you're doubling an actor, you certainly want to be able to you don't want to hand that job over to somebody else. You go out and you rehearse it. If it's a fire gag or if it's a high fall, and I knew my double, it was written in for my double in a specific shot, then I would go out for 3 or 4 days and rehearse those high falls.
Wow.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is have somebody else step in and take your job away.
Well, I remember you telling me that you did an ambulance, and the gurney comes out of the ambulance in the scene, I believe. I think it was in Hawaii?
No, that was in San Francisco.
San Francisco. Well, I'm trying to get it right. And,
It was just one of those, gurney comes out as the ambulance was going about 20 miles an hour.
So it's moving.
It was moving, and so it's one of those separation deals where the gurney comes out and woof, right away I'm 30 feet down the road and hanging on for dear life, I might add.
Well, you're hanging on for dear life, but didn't you bounce your ribs? Don't you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that comes with the territory.
So stuntmen do get hurt.
Stuntmen do get hurt. Yes, yes. It's all part of the deal. You sign up for that just like you would, playing football. I mean, Without a Trace. There's a shot there from Without a Trace where I was doubling Anthony LaPaglia. And again, I was working. That was a medium-sized car hit right there, and
a medium-sized car. I don't think I could take a Volkswagen Bug.
Well, a full-on one, you'd feel it. That one there was just a little brush.
So you've been hit by cars. You've jumped. You've actually helped people do stunts. In fact, you were the stunt coordinator in a movie that I did.
Yeah, we did actually.
That's how we met.
We met. That's right. We tossed you onto or into a pit.
Yes, into a cesspool.
A cesspool.
We're going to come back after a message from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Over her long career, Nina Foch appeared in classic films such as Spartacus, The Ten Commandments, and An American in Paris. She received an Academy Award nomination for her performance in Robert Wise's Executive Suite. In 1965, Nina Foch arrived here at USC to begin teaching directing, and I was lucky enough to get into one of her first classes. Even as she continued acting in film and television, Nina's passion for teaching lasted for over 40 years. Her course was immensely popular because she developed her own unique style, drawing on her experiences studying with Lee Strasberg, Stella Adler, and Uta Hagen, and being directed by such icons as Vincent Minnelli, Stanley Kubrick, Cecil B. DeMille, and Otto Preminger. As I began directing, the tremendous value of her teachings became evident and how important it was to preserve them for future generations. We became close friends, and at a cinema department event, we ran into my former classmate George Lucas, who invited us up to Skywalker Ranch, where we discussed creating a DVD of her course. He agreed to finance it, and on January 10th, 2002, we began taping an entire semester using a crew of USC film students. We filmed for 8 hours a week for 15 weeks, and this is the result.
Okay, so what are we going to do this semester?
Welcome back. You're watching ActorsE Chat, and I'm your host, Kim Delgado. And we want you to check out the Actors Reporter because it has all the fantastic discounts that you will need for a career. So if you want to live your dreams, you're going to go and you're going to check out our sponsors, and you're going to get the discounts that'll help you with your career. And it has everything from teaching to coaches to photography labs, everything you'll really need, even emotional healing for actors if you have issues. And now productions is where you're going to be. So we're back, and we're with our stunt producer, Mark Riccardi. So Mark has been in some amazing movies, and I wanted to get into the face-off that you did and some of the stuff that you did on the big films. Didn't you almost get your head taken off in a film?
That was Face Off.
Right.
I was doubling John Travolta. And there was a sequence there where the two stunt guys, we were on the back of a Scarab.
What's a Scarab?
A Scarab, a 60-foot speedboat.
Gotcha.
You know, and we were rehearsing a little fight in the back of the boat, and we rehearsed it around 2 when the tide was out, and we were going under a bridge. During those rehearsals, we were making clear runs. There was plenty of space going through. It was 10 feet of headroom and space getting through this bridge area. And we wound up pushing it till about 5 o'clock. And the gag was for me to come up from the back, grab the anchor, and come up swinging and trying to hit Nicholas's cage double, just as I was going under the bridge and out. So at 5 o'clock, we go to do the gag, we're losing light, and it's like go, 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 cameras are set, and we start to fight at the back of the boat. We have a blind driver in the Scarab, which, again, a blind driver is a guy who's just looking through a little pee hole, and he's going to drive through this little bridge that had an area now of only about 5 feet. So to my surprise, as I was going through, as I started to stand up, I mean, we're going about 50 miles an hour, Kim, and let me tell you what, as I came up under the boat, or came up under the bridge, there was a pipe there that was so close that the guys there, the camera guys, were just all just freaked out because I came up just as we were going under, and like I said, unbeknownst to us, that area, that gap went from 10 feet to 5 feet, so my headroom was very minimal. So I shot through there, and luckily, and through the grace of God, I came out the other end, and the gag went off like clockwork.
Well, we hear all the time that stunt people get injured, and, you know, the show goes on. You've done other movies, Get Shorty, Broken Arrow, Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
Did you have all the makeup on that they use for Battlefield Earth?
Yeah, I spent hours and hours of makeup time with John in the trailers. There was usually 3 a.m. calls, and by the end of the day, you know, I mean, I was in there 16, 17 hours.
17-hour days. So,
in a leather suit, mind you.
So was it hot?
It was hot for me, but for the actors, they all had, after the first 2 days, I remember Forrest Whitaker asking for an air-conditioned controlled unit be put up into his outfit. I mean, these leather outfits were just, they were crazy. But it was fun. It was a great time.
Those were big movies. Now, what's the difference, in your opinion, between doing the technical stunts and just the down and dirty stunts? And by technical, I mean you were hanging from a building about to fall 40 stories, as opposed to just going into the bar and doing a good old-fashioned Western fight scene.
Well, you know, everything nowadays has really become about cables and wires and CGI, and it's the old days of the diehards when everything was done for real. You know, guys driving cars at 70, 80 miles an hour, doing these massive turnovers. I mean, a lot of it right now, and cable work, high falls, are now being done with a lot of cables as well.
Your television work is extensive, and I know that you've done a lot of work in Hawaii. Tell us a little bit about this stuff. What's this right here?
24.
Oh, that's 24. Yeah.
Wow, you have a gun there.
We did a few seasons there, and the coordinator on that was Jeff Cadiente, another one of my good pals that I often go over to Hawaii and do some.
What's this one?
This was a little something I did called Match Chance with, you recognize that face right there, Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, the beast mode. Beast mode.
I did a little stunt coordinating, also had an acting part on that. There's that's the mask I had when I was a bank robber. And there you go, there's my buddy from Without a Trace, Anthony LaPaglia, who, what a great guy he was. He would let me jump in numerous times.
And this here?
And that's my buddy Greg Grunberg and from Heroes. That man right there, let me tell you what, is a character. And that goes way back, mind you. That's back back in the days when we were painting fences and doing little independent films.
You look a little dirty there.
I was trying to. That was my cowboy look. What can I say?
So I guess doing stunts, you get down and dirty.
You do, and and safety and all that really comes into the big picture of things. I mean, when I first came out here, you know, I was told consistently about, you know, finding your mark, you know, making sure that there's no nails. There's a shot from Heroes that I doubled Greg Grunberg down on 5th Street. At the time, my son was about 5, and my wife were down at the bottom. And that was a long...
Wow.
Yeah. The only thing between me and the street was that bar right there, and my stunt catcher, which missed me, and my head hit the rail. So,
Ow!
yeah, that was a pretty nice gag at the time.
What's it feel like going through a window? Now, is that sugar window?
Yes, you call it a candy glass type of thing. Yeah, tempered glass, which breaks up into little tiny pieces. That I was on an air ram, which an air ram is something that you would. It's a compression ram that you hit it and it'll send you, you know, anywhere from 5 to 20 feet in some cases.
Now I've been hit by one and it hurt. I mean, I got clocked over the head. They said,
well, not an air ram.
I got cut by a candy
the
bottle.
The bottles, yeah. Well, but what I find is that the faster you hit somebody, the better it is.
Well, I got clocked in the head and I said that hurt. It's not supposed to hurt.
Yeah.
So you do get hurt. Would you prefer? Do you have any preference in whether you'd rather?
You know, you can pad up to no end, and hurt will always find you. Okay, I've put pads on my body from top to bottom, and boom, I get hit right here, or I get hit right here. There's the air ram right there. You see how that? We did about 5 rehearsals on that, and the last one I was so amped up that I mean, it was close. That was another close call. I could have went over the rail and down to 5th Street. So, yeah.
Have you broken any bones?
I've busted an ankle, and you know, the back's been tweaked here and there. But I've been fairly lucky in my career. You know, you know, I'm trying to move into the stunt coordinating, and moving into stunt coordinating, second unit directing. You're more about hiring guys, and you're more about watching other guys do the gags. So as I get older, the ground doesn't get any softer.
Okay, now we're at a fantastic film, and this is...
That's Whiplash.
And who's that that's nominated for an Academy Award?
That's my boy. That's J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller.
This is if the audience hasn't seen this movie, it is fantastic. I've seen it several times, and the performance by J.K. is I would say stellar, and I believe he will win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. It's probably a privilege and an honor. I know it was a smaller production as compared to the big studio blockbusters, but nonetheless.
I got the call for that, and I was just amazed. I went in for the interview and met the director, Damien Chazelle, and I believe this was it was a 12-minute Sundance short winner, and the producers wound up turning it into a feature. And it's one of those, and I kept telling Damien.
JK?
Yeah, I kept telling Damien, you know, being a producer and having projects myself, I was like, dude, this is like the greatest thing you could have happen. I mean, this is what keeps us moving and keeps us writing, keeps us producing, because of guys like you that, you know, hit the jackpot. I mean, that have a producer that's interested in your little 12-minute short and decide to take it to the next level. I mean, that is, you know, for that to happen.
And who's this?
That's Damien. He's a director, awesome guy from New Jersey, that had faith in me to pull off his T-bone car hit that we did in it, and it was that whole, you know, we could have just did it the old-fashioned way, but it was it's what you call a specialty stunt, where we used the T-bone happened with stunts. We had a stunt double for Miles Teller. There was a little bit of CGI. In fact, there was a lot of CGI, and of course special effects. So that was the big gag that we pulled off in Whiplash, and it's nominated. You know, lo and behold, a little engine that could, is that what, right? I mean, turned out to be a nominee for an Oscar.
What kind of budget were they on?
Oh my God, I don't know. It was probably under $3 million.
Under $3 million. Here's a piece from the film.
Yeah.
With J.K.
Oh, there's where we that was another little stunt there. We threw a chair over the top of Miles' head, and then of course the T-bone that happened was just. I mean, the audience jumped when they see it. It was so real that, you know, we pulled off what we intended to do, and. Heck, I can't even tell you how happy I am for all the cast, crew, and the producers.
You know, I hear a lot that, actors are, here you are, and
Oh,
this
yeah,
is...
look at that.
Crazy Girls.
Oh, Crazy Girls on the Cover. That was a little project we did in Las Vegas. I had my wife on the show as well. She came out and did some driving, and then also doubled one of the lead stars.
Who's this?
That was the same show, I believe. Man versus Man. That was with Ian from Sharknado.
Okay, and this?
Oh, there's my heroes. There's my coaches from high school. Dennis Matalone, stunt coordinator. There's Irving Lewis, who's a good pal of mine. But that's the South Plainfield crew, and that was just taken about 2 months ago. Bill Malone.
That's a big gun.
That's a big gun. That's Mob City. That was in Hawaii. It was a Hawaii 5-0 episode that my buddy Jeff had me come out and play a mob guy.
I guess you do that. Wait, who's
Hey,
this?
those are two boys. That's my boy. That's Dominic and that's Christian. And spent a little time at the beach.
So you're a family guy.
Oh, a family guy. And you should know, Kim, that because of those two, it's why I get up and go to work every day. But then again, there's my wife, who I met on the project, Michael. Nora Ephron directed that. And it was the last day of the shoot, and she was an extra. She left her hair job that day and came onto the set, and she was an extra. And I was in the Travolta garb, with the long hair, Michael, the trench coat, and I really believe to this day she mistaken me for Travolta. And she followed me around all day, which is not true. I followed her. And the rest is history.
And now you have 2 kids. It's really amazing that she does hair and makeup in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really tough to have 2 people that are both working
Oh.
irregular hours and irregular jobs.
Right.
And you've been together for how long?
I think we're going on 12 years.
That's a long time.
12
There's the Travolta film, Michael.
Yeah, the old trench coat and the wings, and what a great project that was. Again, meeting my wife was just an added blessing, but working with Nora Ephron was just, unbelievable.
So you're doing film, you're doing television. Do you have a preference, and why would you have a preference?
I like the idea of doing film because it gets me out of town. You know what I'm saying? Nora Ephron, she was just unbelievable, and I what can I tell you? I worked with her again later on another project. But yeah, getting out of town is always a priority for me. It gives my wife and I a little time apart, lets her, organize everything, and then when I come back, usually the furniture is rearranged and the house is painted, and a lot of things are done that I'm like, okay, this is fine. But I just got back from Seattle. I worked on a great project with a director friend of mine, Nicholas Genie, called Beta Test.
We're going to get back to that in a second. We're going to talk about Beta
Okay.
Test right after our message from our sponsors.
Hey everyone, I am Judith Jones. If you are looking for photographs, which a lot of you are, let's face it, we need photographs every day, actors, models, even if you're just, the milkman, you need photographs, okay? You need to look good. And if you want to look good, you've only got one man to go to, and that's John Michael Ferrari. You see, I needed to look good. So I went to John, and he basically took me to the most beautiful place in LA and took these wonderful photographs of me, and I really didn't even recognize myself because I just looked, well, let's just face it, I looked stunning. So if you want to look stunning like myself in those photographs, go to him. He will make you look beautiful. If you're pretty, he'll make you look prettier. If you're not pretty, he'll make you look pretty. John Michael Ferrari. That's all you need to know. So go to imagesbyferrari.com. That's the website, imagesbyferrari.com. And you can check out all his photography and you can contact him there. You can look at a picture of me. He directed me, because if you need direction, which, hello, I do, he directs you too. So go and check that out, imagesbyferrari.com. You'll love it. You'll look great. Check it out. Bye, everyone.
Welcome back. You're watching ActorsE Chat, and I'm your host, Kim Delgado. And we're here with Mark Riccardi, our stuntman and producer. We were talking about Beta Test.
Beta Test, yeah. We spent a month up in Seattle with my good buddy Nicholas Genie.
Did it rain?
It rained every day, matter of fact. I didn't see the sun for 30 days. It was insane. But anyway, yeah, he brought me up there early. We had about a 10-day rehearsal on a fight that was something that he was looking to break a record. He wanted to do a long take that would consist of...
There's the poster.
Yeah. Manu Bennett was a fabulous
I
actor.
love Manu Bennett.
Manu is fabulous.
Manu from Spartacus.
Yes,
Ooh.
yes. So we had 10 days with probably 15 stunt guys, and we put together a fight that we knew that was going to be a 7-minute without cutting fight. Okay, so Manu came in probably 5 days after we had already rehearsed, and he jumped in like a champ from his training with Spartacus and everything else. Yeah, he stepped right into the role, and he pretty much took out probably 25 stunt guys in a matter of 7 minutes. And again, it's a very precise setup because punches, camera angles, and everything you do has to be correct. Otherwise, I kept telling these guys, don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that slips a punch or doesn't throw the punch the right way, or it's a big, huge miss. Because if you do, we got to go back and start over again.
Yeah, that's a long shot.
It's a long process. And my buddy Nick, he directed. We did Match Chance together as well, and he had faith in me. He knew I could pull it off. He gave me the tools and the guys up there to work with, and we rehearsed day in and day out for 4 or 5 hours a day.
Wow.
And we finally pulled it all together. I believe we wound up shooting it 3 times over at City Hall in Seattle. And, 3 times, and we nailed it. One of them works. With no cuts, one of them worked. And,
that's a very beautiful thing because the expense of going back to shoot 7 minutes and getting it right without getting anybody injured is incredible.
Incredible.
Let's talk about something that you're doing now. Mark has moved into producing, and he has a show called...
The Mama Luke, baby.
And I understand you've shot at least 3 episodes, and you're currently shopping it. Here's Mama Luke TV.
Yeah.
Now, what inspired you to start producing and get into a whole nother form of entertainment?
All right. First off, it starts out with a great premise. And my buddy Ben Fury from New York had called me with this idea of this.
Here he is.
This Mama Luke character.
Who's this guy? What's his name?
This is Johnny Roast Beef Williams. He's been on our show. Has he? There you go. Johnny is just one unbelievable actor. He is the epitome of the Mama Luke. He's the Ralph Cramden of the show that pretty much depicts a out of fish out of water, fish out of water type of guy who wants to be a mob guy, but he just can't seem to get in. Everybody thinks he's a loon. The only people that really respect him happen to be the neighbors, and they think he's mobbed up. But down at there's Veronica Alessino, my childhood friend, who I've known since the 7th grade. She plays his wife, Marie, and the grandmother, of course. So it's a very dysfunctional Italian family. Lou Marmaluke, or our guy Lou, who is the Mama Luke, hangs out at the social club, and he's basically the gopher. He's the wannabe guy that just will never catch a break. He shines their shoes, he washes their cars, he runs their errands, and it's very consistent with, a guy that kind of has a great idea. We've seen it before. He has a great idea, tries to pull something off, thinks he's going to do the right thing, doesn't do the right thing, and in the end, it kind of all's well and ends well.
So he's the Jackie Gleason of the mob.
Well, he's the Ralph Cramden. I like to think Ralph Cramden.
He's the Ralph Cramden. So how did you get a writer? How did you figure out what it is, what you were going to do?
Well, like I said, we had the premise of this Mama Luke, this wannabe, and Ben Fury initially wrote the pilot, and then I attached myself to a couple other great writers, and I wasn't going to wait around, so I decided to get a group together of filmmakers, and we went out and shot 3 episodes. I put them up on Mama Luke TV. I'm currently trying to get it distributed, find a home for it. I mean, I'm okay with network, I'm okay with cable, and I'm okay with Netflix and the new venues that are out there. But I took the whole new media guys and I went out and shot in 4 days, and we turned out, I believe, 3 good, great, funny episodes.
Well, we're going to give our viewers your websites now so they can find you if they want to contact you. This is the Stuntman website for Mark Riccardi.
Yeah, that's
Double.
Stunt Double. Stunt Double, DBLE.
And this is your website for producing, Take Two Entertainment.
Correct.
And there's the Mamaluca. You can all go up and like it on YouTube. Here's your IMDb, which lists all your credits, and most of them anyway. Here's your Facebook.
Oh, that's my family.
There's your family.
Yeah. Oh, that's a little tweet site. That's kind of the bad guy looking picture right there.
You play bad guys. And there's my IMDb, and I look so serious in that picture. There's my Facebook. Hey, you're watching ActorsE Chat. We have a question.
No, let's take a little look about a little more information about the show.
We are going to find out some more information about the show. So right here, right now, you're going to find out what we got to show you.
Hi, I'm Sonia Harley, one of your ActorsE Chat hosts. Thank you for joining us on ActorsE Chat. We are now 6 million viewers strong from all over the world, and we really appreciate you. ActorsE Chat shoots live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time from the Pepper J Production Studio right in Hollywood, California. Want to see all of today's episode or any other ActorsE Chat episode? Please visit ActorsEntertainment.com and put the talent's name in the search box. For instance, like if you're looking for Sonia Harley, for me, put in Sonia Harley, and we'll take you right where you need to go. And go ahead and visit the Actors Entertainment on imdb.com. That's the Internet Movie Database to see the more than 1,300 entertainment industry professionals that have been guests on ActorsE Chat. And social media is so important, so please follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Actors Entertain, and join us on Facebook at Actors Entertainment fan page. And don't forget to like us, because those likes, they really do help out. Stay tuned for our Actors Reporter animation, which won Best Animation at the Telly Awards. Great job, and Now Media, and Pepper J Productions, and terrific singing by Melissa Suzanne. And now, a special thank you to today's ActorsE Chat guest.
And you can go to mamaluke-tv.com to see some of the Mamaluca episodes. We'd like to thank our wonderful guest, Mr. Mark Riccardi. And we'd like to thank our wonderful audience. Remember to live your dreams. And we're going to say thank you and goodbye.
What's that? ActorsE Chat Show? Happens to be my favorite. In the morning, I want nothing but a cup of coffee, a bottle of Kahlua, 6 naked girls. Wait, no, that's not right. ActorsE Chat Show.
Thanks for joining us on ActorsE Chat. Whether watching on the internet or on cable, remember to visit ActorsE.com and enjoy all your past ActorE Chat episodes. Just put your celebrity favorites in the search box. ActorsE Chat is shot live from the Pepper J Production Studios in Hollywood, California. ActorsE Chat is a Pepper J production. All rights expressly reserved in all formats. Thanks for watching.
Oh my gosh, hey big Hollywood starlet that just happens to be walking by. Yes. I'm not from around here, but I want to be an actress just like you. What do I need to know? Kid, let me tell you. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a naive newbie like you, there's one thing you need to know. To get my first job, I lived in a slum, beat out 50 other girls to play a drunk bum.
I cried.
My first agent charged me 30%.
Thanks.
Working 3 jobs and I couldn't pay rent, but I'm an actor.
She's an actor.
A shark gnawed my leg on a B film in Sydney. To pay for the stitches, I sold my left kidney. I finally made a union, their rules were complex. Their piles of paperwork fogged up my specs. But I'm an actor. She's an actor. I'm an actor. Well, that's rather disturbing, but what's the one thing I need to know? Don't listen to the critics. Don't follow all the tabs. Forget that sleazy photog and the agent that's got crabs. Go to Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com. Learn the tricks and the secrets without all the sweat. An info-packed one-stop shop. It's free and on the net. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
How can they help her?
Career cues, union news, makeup woes, advice from pros, insurance tips, choosing scripts, everything at your fingertips.